Hi guys, it's my 6th day in Dubai. Accordingly, I'll have to check out of the hotel tomorrow. Right now I'm staying at the Sheraton, looking at this beautiful view. Dubai Marina. Walkway there, so nice. So, what am I doing here? I've arrived to rent an apartment for a year. Why for a year? Well, because it costs about the same for half a year. Accordingly, if we want to spend the winter in Dubai, renting for a year or 6 months won't make much difference. The only difference is that the only way to rent a place to stay for a year is to get a residence permit, a so-called Dubai ID. And in order to get it, you either need to establish a company or have a visa for freelancers. In general, I'm dealing with all these questions now. Today is my last day at the hotel, but I've already rented an apartment. I'll show it to you later. I had 2 places to choose from. Blue Water, really cool there. The entire Moscow city has moved there. In general, there aren't too many people, since most of the people who live there are long-term residents. There's a hotel called Caesars, and there are a lot of people and parties. However, I'd like to find something more quiet for a child. Here's my contract. I'll show and tell you how I found and rented it. So watch this video to the end. There'll be a lot of interesting and useful information. I hope it'll be useful to you. What's the price? Where? That's the guide for people who've decided to spend the winter or maybe move to Dubai. Why didn't we go to America, by the way? We don't have visas yet. That is, we're in the middle of a checkup. They have to notify us within a month whether we will have a visa or not, but statistically, an administrative check takes 30 days. I've already had this kind of check because I graduated from a nuclear university and they gave me a visa. We weren't rejected. They said to wait for an email. Accordingly, the email will notify us if we are rejected or approved for the visa. Then we'll have to fly to Frankfurt again. Let me quickly tell you about the Sheraton Hotel. Not an advertisement. It's not expensive. Optimal in terms of price and quality for now. All the activities are within a 10-minute walk from here. That's actually where I rented the apartment. Look, here you can have lunch for 300 dirhams. That's about $100. However, lunch is already over, so they took it all away. Must have been delicious. I didn't come here because it's too hot outside. Feels like 100 degrees Fahrenheit. How do people live here in the summer? Well, we might have to experience it this year. What's the reason for such prices here? People rent for a long time and then sub-rent for a shorter period at triple price in order to make money on it. For example, if you rent an apartment for the year, it costs $100,000, but for 6 months it'll cost the same $100,000. And then you sub-rent it for 6 months for $110,000 and you earn 10 grand. A 2-week rental would cost about the same as a month, roughly speaking. So they break it up into shorter terms and try to recoup their expenses. And, of course, to make money knowing that in June, July, August, no one will live in this apartment. Most likely this apartment will be empty even for half a year, as it's impossible to lease something here in the summer. The locals move to Europe or wherever it's cooler, because it's too hot here. Even now I'm walking. Frankly speaking, I feel uncomfortable. But, by the way, today there's already some kind of breeze. I'd say it's windy. Just imagine the hot hairdryer, the hottest one. That's about the same feeling. I'm walking against the hairdryer. It's also hard to talk. By the way, more interesting information. This wheel was built with airs. The engineers thought that this wheel would not have any cabins. Well, in general, they miscalculated. The load was calculated without the cabins, and then when they hung them up, it began to tilt. That was fixed. And then when it was launched, this wheel caused a strong vibration, which accordingly destroyed the island. So the wheel was stopped, and most likely it'll be dismantled. They decide what to do with it, where to move it. When it worked, there were loads of people here. Now, of course, there are fewer people, but the place is still one of the best in Dubai. Still, the prices here are sky high, like $140,000 a year, $14,000 a month. Really expensive. Although in Miami, we rented for $16,000. That's also really expensive. But in Miami, we had a 3,000 square foot apartment with a balcony. Here, the apartments are 1,100 to 1,400 feet. Way too small. Also, we wanted to live in this house. It's cool, it's expensive, but 50% of it. One of the towers was built to buy and the other was built to rent. In other words, it's like a hotel. Accordingly, it's heavily trafficked with a huge number of people. One of the most expensive houses, I'll go there. One of my subscribers, Sergey, is there. We've already become friends. Many thanks to you, Seryoja, for helping me. Thanks to him, I quickly shot everything, quickly found everything. It's good to have people who already have some experience who live here. Here, by the way, is the public beach. All that stuff with umbrellas and towels belongs to this building. And all the towels lying like that belong to the common people who come here. But the sea's not really good here. It's deep right away, that's kind of good, but if there's a wind, all the dirt is blown here. Although there's a net, which catches the mess. Well, in general, you can come with towels to swim. Right now, by the way, I'm walking and it's windy. It's cool. Luckily, there's a breeze. Feels much better now. And in January, there can be a really strong cold chilling wind, so people even put on jackets, hoodies. By the way, you can rent fairly affordable yachts here. Much cheaper than in America. It's kind of scary to walk on the bridge like that. Dubai is considered to be a city of wealthy people. There's an unbelievable number of expensive cars. And at the same time, everyone's trying to scam you in some way. To provide some kind of service at a high cost to do something. But they always, for example, even with renting an apartment or something else, they always test you. For example, the agent's commission for finding you an apartment is 5%. For a year, let's say you find it for $100,000, you give $5,000 to the agent. He takes it from you and then he says, "Oh, there's also tax to be paid on the 5%. That's on you, too." You stupid or what? What tax? Why do I have to pay your taxes? And he says, "Whoa, if you don't want to, that's fine." And that's how they're always checking you. It's like when you go to a restaurant and they bring out the fish and say, "Look, we have the freshly caught fish today. Would you like to order it? Well, the price is the following. Say, 2,000 dirhams. And you think, well, that's kind of expensive. Yeah, but if the fish is so good, why not try it? Since it's special today. Well, it turns out that this price is for 3 ounces, and then they bring you the fish weighing a few pounds, and you lose a lot of money. That's the way it works all over here. So always ask for details and check better in several sources. Everyone who's in business here will try to get as much money from you as possible. Today's my last day at the hotel. I'm moving into an apartment. Paid for it yesterday. But I took the apartment without the air conditioning, electricity, and water included. That's about another $700 to $800 a month I'll have to pay separately. But I have to open an account for that. So now we're going to a special organization that'll open an account for us. It can be done online. It'll take up to 2 days. And if you come to the place, open it, and pay for everything at once, then today I may already have electricity and water turned on because I need to move into an apartment, so I don't have to pay for extra days in a hotel. As for finding an apartment, it's really quite simple. In case you have an ID. If you don't have an ID, it's a lot more complicated. If you don't have a residency permit, I used a program called Property Finder. It's very simple. You can look right on the map to check the neighborhoods you want. The prices are also indicated. You can rent such an apartment for $115,000. And in order to rent it, you just have to click here. Then it sends an email right away. And when you get an answer, make an appointment and go look at it, or just ask for a video if you're in the other country, for example. Here you can find both short-term and long-term offers. As for agents, I tried 3 or 4 people. The impression's that all agents don't make much money on this, although 5% seems to be good. For some reason, though, they're lazy. I don't know, maybe the Dubai heat loosens them up. They don't want to look for anything. They just look through the same sites. That is, there are no normal offers, and their prices are somewhat exaggerated. Offers in this app are much cheaper. Perhaps they add some extra money or something else, I don't understand. But in general, the agents had higher prices than I found. So if you want to save money, better look for yourself. So now, Seryoga will pick me up. I'm already taking my suitcase. And we'll go to the organization to quickly arrange all the accounts to pay the utility bills. Hopefully we'll stay in our new apartment overnight. One of the advantages of living in Dubai is safety. There's an incredible number of cameras. Accordingly, crimes are solved quite quickly. And those people who break the law get a ban on entering Dubai at once. So, if you do something illegal here, it reveals immediately. Or you can go to jail. We came to Jari, the name of a state institution that can register a rental agreement. And accordingly, people think I'm crazy because of the camera. Can you guess another drawback of Dubai, by the way? It's 64 or maybe even 60 degrees Fahrenheit in the malls. I don't know why they make it that cold, and it's over 100 degrees outside. So imagine constantly going from hot to cold, from hot to cold. Anyway, my agent didn't show up. I call him and he says, "I'm sleeping." He had a deal. He was supposed to give me the keys and he just ignored me. He got the money, and that's it. No keys, nothing. We are standing in line, and here's the so-called Jari. Let's try to make it quick. I also need the internet. Where can I order it? Alright, congratulations to me. We're all done. Cost 2,400 dirhams, kind of deposit. In short, it'll be charged. I'll tell you everything later, because so far everything needs to be clarified. Thanks to Seryoga. By the way, Seryoga, thank you very much. If it were not for you, I'd be stuck now.
Don't ask me, that's not true.
I was making fun of Seryoga. He's actually... let me leave a link to you so people will write to you and you'll help everyone. And he says, "You must be kidding me. I already get calls all the time." Anyway, look how beautiful this car is. Why Rolls Royce?
Well, I've always dreamt about it, but I couldn't afford it in my country. But here, I managed to buy it.
By the way, are cars much cheaper here?
From the dealership, they're more expensive.
Compared to Europe, right?
Yeah.
But in Russia, it's much more expensive. In Russia, it's much more expensive. It's banned there. Here, it's customary to drive a good car, unlike in Europe. Anyway, we're going to move into my new apartment now, and we'll have a quick look at it. We didn't really check out the apartment. We went in, checked it out, I made an Insta story, and that's it. Look at these doors. I'm afraid to even open it. I have to push the button, right?
Yeah, press and hold.
That's right. Excuse me, I don't ride a Rolls Royce that often. Anyway, we have to see what's in the apartment now, because I hadn't checked if there was an iron, like Anna asked, or if there were any dishes. There's a washing machine, as far as I remember.
It should be.
Should be, yeah. And I saw that there was a broken chair. We'll go and take a look. Hope I rented a decent cat in a sack.
It's okay.
Most importantly, Anastasia's happy. Anna said I did great.
The area's top-notch.
Anna praised me, said I've rented a nice apartment. And accordingly, I'll be living in that house for the next year. Maybe even more. Perhaps I'll live my whole life here, or maybe I'll leave. But I have plans to go to America again. We want to go there for at least 2 or 3 months in February or March. I mean, look how beautiful it is. From the interior of the Rolls Royce, it looks even more interesting. After Dubai, Miami seems to be a village. And don't write in the comments that I'm saying this because I don't have a visa. I will get a visa. There's a high approval rate because usually when there's an administrative check, almost always, it's very rare that they refuse. So I'm sure we'll have a visa and we'll go to Miami. But everything's new here. It's just newly built. Incredible amount of interesting people. Whereas Miami's like a village. It's kind of boring, frankly. Anyway, I'll show you all the neighborhoods here. There are some trampolines here, right?
Ooh, we've already passed.
Yeah, I'll show you a cafe called Porsche Drive or something like that. It's where most of the startuppers hang out. They use it as a co-working space. They come here to drink tea or eat something. Let's settle in with the suitcase. The first door opening. Welcome home. Come in, Syriag. Home at last. The air conditioner doesn't work properly yet, but it's quite cool. We saved on electricity. So one leg's broken here. How did they break it? Or is that the design? It's just bent. There's a washing machine in Desert. What about the other stuff? Oh, there's a stove, a dishwasher, kettles, some dishes. Oh, there are even some wine glasses. That's a fridge. Some kind of cupboard. Actually, everything's present. There's even a TV set. A view from the window to the sea. so to speak, almost to the sea. Of course, it's not a view apartment. Let's check it over here. Time is 6 p.m. Sergey and I are waiting for electricity and water. We called a specially trained person. Perhaps he needs to press something or somehow turn it on. Turns out that there's one more contract to sign for the air conditioner after the activation of this one. Why is it so complicated? But one more interesting thing. I thought there were air conditioning units in the house, like in our country. Turns out that there's a centralized system here. The government creates special stations where the cold is generated, and it's transferred here through a vent. Congratulate me. I got light. No water yet. Let me show you what the apartment looks like with the lights on. Actually, like this. The refrigerator's supposed to work, too. How does it turn on? It doesn't work. I don't understand. The lights are on, but the fridge isn't. God, it's so complicated. It's all dirty. This place will be clean tomorrow. Well, it's easier to rent an apartment in Miami. You just come in and everything's clean. Here, they're all screwed up. Toilet. Without water. Here, we have a bathroom with a shower. Well, it's pretty decent. Smells like a sauna. We even have a bathtub here. Can you imagine? Such a room. This is what a bedroom looks like. I'm still waiting for the water. Good morning, everyone. I'm eager to wash my face and brush my teeth, but unfortunately, I still don't have any water. Of course, I'm shocked at the way they rent apartments here. It's just awful. I mean, the realtor's a real disappointment. He charged me a 5% commission. That's 15,000 dirhams, $5,000 roughly speaking, and just quit. He come to draw up contracts with us. Says, I just overslept. Now I'm texting him saying, dude, there's no water. We even went down the hallway and looked at the pipes. Pipes open, just the same as all the others. That is, a pipe's not blocked. There's no water in the apartment. I want to brush my teeth, wash my face, but there's just no water. And here's the fridge. I figured out how to turn the fridge on. Okay, interesting. Anyway, there are some issues with the apartment. They don't seem to be too serious. You can see that they've tried to clean it up, but overall, the curtains came off a little bit, but nobody cares. I mean, you have to do it yourself. Well, and chairs, you've already figured it out. Overall, Dubai is certainly a lot more expensive than Miami. And still, Jade's signature where we lived is a number one love. There's no beach near this house, by the way. That's a big drawback, too. Chairs. I don't know how they assembled them that way, or whether they bent them. I have to buy some tools and try to fix it myself. In about an hour, a cleaning company will arrive at my place because the apartment's dirty. No one's cleaned it after the previous tenant. By the way, the Pakistani man who owns the apartment bought it for 1.5 million, he said. But I think he actually exaggerated a bit. It's about 1.2 million. Last year, he charged 250,000 dirhams for renting this apartment. Now, it costs about 300,000 dirhams. Adding commissions and a deposit of 15,000, I've paid 330. Going for breakfast. My first breakfast at Blue Waters, so to speak. A little hot outside, 10 a.m. Decided not to wait for the person from the state company that provides water to come and open that valve. I mean, turned out to be the problem was on their side because the guys who live in the house showed me the valve closed with a special key. They have some kind of special key to open it. Going to a place called Lido, like Starbucks. It's also a big chain, present in every shopping center. There's also Mado, which I think is a Turkish chain, but it didn't really work for me. Besides, I have to work. Here, people work like in a co-working space. They come to the cafe, to the restaurant, have breakfast, and do their business. Such a nice porridge, and pancakes with an egg. So the cleaning service is here. They're going to clean this place up. The agents also arrived. By the way, I got the water. It's fine. We can wash. The only thing left to do now is to turn on the air conditioner. By the way, did you guys know that there's no hot water in here? That's why there's a button right there. This one, water heater. You turn it on, you get hot water. You turn it off, you don't have any. By the way, there's a cool app called Kibsons. If you want to order food, it's perfect. Install the app. You need a local number for that. And to get a local number for a long time, you need an ID. But some companies provide local numbers for a few months. You can live without an ID, but it's really tough without a number. I'll show you the cafe where all the startuppers hang out. The most important startupper is Fedya. Hey bro, what's up? Work? What you doing? I'm doing. We have the biggest creative crypto agency right now. Crypto. Actually, he's just starting a crypto business. Before that, they were doing the coolest production. If you've seen Survival Without Money in Norway, that was a project we did together. Guys were shooting it. We actually just pack the projects from scratch and take them into the space. The guys shoot and do the graphics. I mean at the highest level. And the most important thing is that they don't just shoot somewhere in small cities, but they go to Los Angeles and there's a queue waiting for them. Did you like the promo I made? Awesome, Sasha. Come on, bro. Send me a wallet later. My expenditures haven't been finished yet. Look, I have the water for which I pay. Actually, in Russia, everybody pays. Heating, but in this case, it's not heating, but air conditioners, the cost of which I don't know yet. I haven't connected them yet. I've already connected the electricity. Also, I have to get the internet. The internet's real trouble here. The minimum rate of 250 megabits for downloads and 80 uploads costs 389 dirhams. That's more than $100 per month without TV. The top rate is 1,189 dirhams. That's 800 megabits download speed, 270 megabits upload. To be honest, I'm shocked. At the same time, I have to buy 2 SIM cards for myself and my wife. That is, the internet will cost about $300 a month just for a family of 2. And the utility bill's about $800. At least $1,100 a month, even if you rent an apartment. In addition, the rent's about $9,000. That's expensive. To drink coffee, have a meal. Now, I'll show you the prices, because for some reason I didn't do that at once. So breakfast costs at least 200 dirhams. It's just porridge, some eggs, and tea. Lunch is about $100 per person. And dinner's about $100. That's $250 to $300 a day without alcohol just for eating. That's for one person. $10,000 a month. When you spend that amount of money, your appetite grows and you get motivated. When you don't have money but you really want something, to have a good meal in a restaurant, not to cook at home, then correspondingly you need to earn a lot and work hard for that. So you already start thinking not about going for a walk or, I don't know, some kind of entertainment, but about working, coming up with new ideas, plans. There's actually a huge variety of opportunities here, but at the same time there's great competition because everyone's come here. Obviously, a huge number of bloggers and entrepreneurs. They're all competing with each other, so it's quite challenging. But at the same time, you get the opportunity to work with a foreign audience, not only Russia. And it's a completely different level because Russians don't have as much money as the Europeans or Americans, for example, or Indians, or the same Pakistanis. I don't know whether I need to prove it to you or not. You can just look at the market shares we have and what share of the economy Russia has in the world. Now things are only going to get worse and worse, in my opinion. It's such a great life, really. Everything was so cool in Moscow. And Russia as a whole, of course, everything was not so cool, but Moscow, at least in the last 5 years, was one of the best cities. Of course, I wish that everything in the world would get better, that everyone would live peacefully, that everyone would be friends, brothers, and partners who don't hate each other, don't quarrel, and especially don't kill each other. That's the most important thing. Painful to watch all this, especially how people and children die. It's a nightmare for sure. We live in such a perverted world, and it requires some kind of reset. But I'll tell you that we lived great. Even in COVID, everything was really cool. Bring COVID back. Everyone thought COVID was hard, and in fact, it's gonna be much harder for the next few years. I think it's gonna be harder than we've ever lived before. Now, you might say that it's easy for me to talk, staying in the other country. I'm not serving in the trenches, but believe me, everyone in this story has lost, loses, or will continue to lose, and the standard of living will be worse. Damn, I forgot my backpack in the cafe. I had my MacBook and my phone in there. Well, I've checked via Find My iPhone, and it seems to be still there, so now I'm gonna run and get it. I recognized that only about 20 minutes after I left the cafe. Well, Dubai is considered to be one of the safest cities, so hope it won't be stolen. I'm an idiot, for sure. I've lost my bag. Thank you so much. Great. Everything's here. I hope so. Yeah. The main thing is the computer and the phone. Nothing else matters. Well, in that respect, you can certainly feel safe. There are a lot of cameras. Hardly anybody wants to take your stuff or steal it. In fact, I had the same case of leaving a bag on the beach in Miami, but there have also been incidents of stealing slippers. Not mine. They're expensive and even can be stolen. This is a very strange case, but that's true. You can feel free not to even lock your car here. Leave it with the key in case you want to turn on the air conditioner and keep it cool. No one will take your car. Alright. Time to see what's around the house. There's supposed to be a pool. There's hardly anywhere to walk around. Just a little area. Wow, that's a nice one. There's another one. Good boy. I was almost eaten by a dog. Holy cow. So, where's the pool? Well, there's not much of a playground. That's a drawback. As they say, people get used to good things. By the way, I didn't take a picture of our playground. By the way, why didn't I make a blog from Moscow so you know what I'm talking about? Here's the entire playground, technically. And here I found the pool. Turns out it's downstairs. There's no one at all. That's awesome. What a beauty.